We're going to learn in the Gemara. It starts from V'kulan Shamru Tola Shilcha V'avimai Shemachinam. This is a quote from the Mishnah, and it means, in all that said, V'kulan Shamru, all that said, Tola Shilcha, take what is yours, V'hevimais, and bring the money. Shemachinam, they become a Shemachinam. In other words, they lose the status of a Shemachar. They're not that responsible. They're now only responsible as a Shemer Chinam, which means that they'll be pater. They will not have to pay if it's lost or stolen. Okay, that was a quote from the Mishnah. Now the Gemara begins. Tanan Hasam. We learned over there. Where's over there? Well, you see that little dalet in there? That actually tells us, if you go up to the Seres HaShas, the come on Daf Tzadik Ches. Further on Daf Tzadik Ches. Okay, there's a Mishnah. Tanan Hasam, we learned over there in a Mishnah. Tanan is a Mishnah. Amar Loi Shoyel, if the Shoyel says, Shlach, send it, which means that the Shoyel is the borrower, he tells the owner, send me the cow, I want to borrow your cow. Send it to me. Send it with your Eved, send it with whoever you've got, that any sort of messenger or someone that would bring it to me. B'sholcha, so the owner says fine, he sends it to him. Don't forget, he's doing him a favor, he's lending it to him, and he sends it to him. Umesa, the cow dies along the way. So chayev. The shoyel, the borrower, who never even received it yet, is chayev. And the reason why he's chayev is because when he told the owner to send it, he was accepting responsibility from them. When he sent it, he's chayev. V'chein b'shah shemachzira, and the same would apply when he's returning it. If he returns it, he sends it with someone. So until it reaches the owner, the shoyel is still going to be chayev. So his obligations extend from when it's sent till it gets back. So he takes the shipping time as his responsibility as well. Amar Rav from Bar Papa, Amar Rav Chizda. Rav from Bar Papa says in the name of Rav Chizda, Lo Shanu, we did not learn, Ela shechzira b'toichi meishi lasa, only if it was returned during the time of borrowing. That's when he's still going to be chayev when he returns it for the shipping time. Avalacha yemeishi lasa, but if it's after the time of borrowing, yemei literally means days. If it's after the days of borrowing, then he's going to be pater. Now, after the days of borrowing, in other words, he borrowed it, let's say, for a certain amount of time, and it dies. When the time's up, he borrowed it, he didn't return it yet, for whatever reason, but the owner knows that its time's up, then he's already going to be pater. Now, the reason why he would be pater is because he's not considered a borrower anymore. Even if it didn't die on the road, even if it died in his house, Rashi adds in, he's not a borrower, so he would be pater. Now, this is referring to that he's pater as a shoyel. It doesn't mean that he's pater from Geneva, Vaveda, and everything else, as we'll see later in the Gemara. Okay, so far we didn't have any question. We just quoted that the din of a shoyel, that if he returns it, he's chayev. What happens along the way, but that's only if it's after the time of borrowing. During the time of borrowing, he's only going to be chayev if it's during the time of borrowing. I'm sorry, after the time of borrowing, he's going to be pater. Okay, now we're going to question what the Mishnah said based on this Mishnah in Hashoyel. So Masir Rav Nachman Bar Papa has a question. V'kulan sha'amru, our Mishnah, we said that all workers that said, Tola Shilcha, take your object, V'havi Mais, and bring money, Shemer Chinam. He's a Shemer Chinam. That means he's not anymore a Shemer Sachar, like the regular worker. He becomes now a Shemer Chinam. What's the problem? So let's go to the next page. We'll see what the problem is. The next page says, Hagamartiv. When does he become a Shemer Chinam? When does he become pater? That's only if he said, take what is yours, and bring the money. But let's say he didn't say take what is yours. He just said, I'm done. My work is done. Then he would remain being a Shemer Sachar. That's what the Gemara thinks at this point. Hagamartiv, Shemer Sachar. If he only says that I'm done, he would remain a Shemer Sachar. The problem is that if the owner knows that he's done, he doesn't leave his status. That's what we see in our Mishnah. In the Mishnah in Hashayel, when the owner knows that he's done because his time of borrowing was up, then he does leave his status of a Shayel. So this is a bit of a contradiction. That in our Gemara, when the owner knows that his status is over, that means he knows that he's finished his work, he becomes a Shemer Chinam. But in the Mishnah in Hashayel, he's not. When the owner knows that the borrowing time is up, we said that he's not a shayel anymore. So the Gemara says loy. No, that's this little loy over here. That's the whole answer. It says no. You made a wrong diuk. A diuk means you made the wrong exclusion over here. You said that when does he become a shemer chinam? Only if he says take what is yours and bring the money. However, if he says I'm done, then he would stay a shemer sachar. The Gemara says no. That's not the right diuk. The correct diuk is ha hevi mayus v'tala shalcha shemer sachar. Actually, what it means is if he says it's coming to exclude, if he would have said bring the money and take what is yours, you get it, it's the opposite. Instead of take what is yours and bring the money, he says bring the money and take what is yours, then he would remain a shemer sachar. If you remember, in the last Gemara we said that what makes him a shemer sachar, the fact that he can hold on to the object until he gets his money. So when does he become a shemer chinam? If he says take what is yours and bring the money later. But if he says the opposite, if he says bring the money now and then you can take what is yours, then he would remain a shemer sachar. Aval gemartiv, but if he says that he's done, what would the din be over there? Shemer chinam, he would be a shemer chinam. So now our Mishnah actually fits quite well with the Mishnah in Hashayel. Our Mishnah says that when he's complete, when he's finished the work, he said he becomes a shemer chinam. And the same as when the Mishnah in Hashayel, he leaves the status of being a shayel when his time of borrowing is up. So it's exactly the same. The Gemara just asked the question now. It questions this. It says Ihachi, if so, if that's what you want to say, that the whole difference is only between if he says bring the money and take what is yours, or take what is yours and bring the money. That's the whole difference in the Mishnah. But Gemartiv, I'm finished, would mean the same thing. So Adatani, instead of saying Bekulan Sha'amru and all that said, Tala Shalcha Vehevi Mai Shemer Chinam, that take what is yours and bring the money, he becomes a Shemer Chinam. It could have said something better. Nishmeinan, let us hear Gemartiv, that I am finished. He becomes a Shemer Chinam. If Bekolshkein Tala Shalcha, and for sure Tala Shalcha would be a Shemer Chinam. Take what is yours would be a Shemer Chinam. Because if he says take what is yours, that means he's really out of it. But Gemartiv, I'm finished, is not such a chiddush. But if you tell me that Gemartiv, that I'm finished, that changes his status. For sure, when he says pick it up and take it away from me, for sure he's going to be a shemer chinam. Okay, so the Gemara now answers. There's no note to tell you that this is the answer, but just right here. Tola shelcha tzrichalei. No, it actually has to tell me tola shelcha. That's actually tola shelcha. Take what is yours is needed. It's tzrichalei means it's needed. It's necessary to say this clearly. Because I could have thought shemer chinam nami leihavi, that if he says take what is yours, he's not even a shemer chinam. Shemer chinam nami leihavi is not even a shemer chinam, because he says get it out of here. I don't want it. It's take it already. I don't want the responsibility. Kamash Malan, that no, he's still considered a shemer chinam. Now I wouldn't have known that if it would have only said I'm finished, gamartiv, that he's a shemer chinam. I wouldn't have known that tola shalcha, take what is yours, he's also a shemer chinam. Okay, it's a little bit of a difficult Gemara, and the code is the name of the Amira that asked the question. We'll go back here, and there it is over here, Masiv. Go look it up.